Hello, welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today we're going to react to WillNE. I'm going to do this video till it makes it to the TV or something. Yeah, but before we get into it, remember to subscribe on YouTube, follow me on Twitch. If you want to watch this live, come to twitch.tv/Malakai0811. If you want to know when I'm going live, it says on my Instagram. And tweet me more video ideas if you guys don't want to see this and you want to see something else instead. Or if there are any other YouTube videos you guys want me to react to. Yeah, let's get into it. Right here.
Right, hello my friends. I need to get on telly because we have something we need to promote.
Okay, I think this week on the internet, right? That's what this whole thing was for.
Whoa, hold the bus. We're not going to be promoting it to you. Basically, 7 years ago now, in that building, in that very room right there, I started a YouTube series that changed my life.
Literal university accommodation.
For the worst.
It was called This Week on the Internet.
Yeah, that's it. Nice and close. There you go. Yeah, cut off his chin a bit.
And this entire channel was built on the back of it, but over time, as the state of YouTube changed, it lost its place.
Yeah.
Well, my friends, it's coming back. And it's going to be the #1 place to keep up to date with everything going on in the online world.
I thought we weren't going to promote it.
Anyway, we need to draw as many new eyeballs to this show as possible, right? And for this, we need to think outside of the box. We need a new audience. We need telly.
Yep.
Okay, sir, I have been having a think, right? And here is the plan. Premier League is live every weekend. And it's live!
Yeah.
So what we do, there's 5 games live this weekend. So we've looked at all the stadiums that they're going to be at, and then we've looked at footage of past games in those stadiums, and we've identified the seats that are usually on telly. Are you following?
Good idea.
Yes, we're going to go to the games and we're going to advertise the show.
No.
How?
Sadly, the tickets for those seats have already sold out. But fear not, right? Because I've had a genius plan. We can't go to those games.
Week?
However, somebody already is, right? Somebody's going there.
This is why he put it on his Instagram.
We give these t-shirts to those people who sit in the seats that are usually in camera, and then on camera will be T-W, Twatty, and then bang, right? That is what, millions of pounds of free TV advertising.
If people see
and
it,
if some of them are ill,
not recognise it.
you can just spell tit, because that's what you are, because this is a shit idea.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
undeterred by this silly orange man's harsh words, I pressed on and found 11 different groups across the country who are attending the weekend games. We then figured out how much we'd need to pay them to execute our plan. How much would you do that for? Right, all you've got to do is wear this t-shirt to West Ham.
You wouldn't catch me dead.
50 quid. You would do it for 50 quid.
I've got a jumper. I should have worn it today. I've got a jumper just with a massive M on it.
See,
you
might have self-respect, but people like him don't. You wouldn't do it.
No, I just wouldn't do it.
But we're banking on the everyman like him. And that very same evening, me and producer Ola packaged off our t-shirts and gave them to a man. Now this man, he had a van and he drove them all around the country to be ready to be handed over to the matchday fans. Okay, game 1. We're supposed to have people in the Kop. So they're supposed to be like here. There's no one there.
Okay, so no one turned up.
Okay, game number 2, Basil. Apparently we've got a group just opposite the camera.
No one turned up.
All right, hello my friends. It is time for our 3rd game. We've got a few groups at this one, so that makes it a few groups that we're not going to be able to see instead of one.
Okay, anybody? That might be them there. No. Oh, is that them? This was a stupid idea.
Hang on. Is that them there? Is that them? Wait, lads, it is! Okay, Mr. Lamb, how many Premier League games did you watch this weekend?
0.
None.
Don't worry, because I've prepared a report on our findings.
Okay.
We had 11
I feel like it's going to be very useless.
11 groups.
That must have been seen all over the world.
You would think.
Oh, no.
So, how many of these groups do you think fumbled and got caught?
A lot.
I would assume none.
You'd assume incorrect. 4 of these groups were morons and got caught with their t-shirts and got asked to remove them. That is, I calculated £188 worth of printed t-shirts down the drain. How many of the remaining 7 groups were frauds.
2.
I'd assume
Oh,
none.
frauds.
You'd assume wrong. We
4.
calculated at least 1 group were a bunch of frauds, as you can see, case in point. I'm assuming we gave it to this man, who then convinced his friends in the row. However, he only really convinced 1 friend.
The guy he convinced doesn't even look like he's in on it.
And the
Oh
rest of them
my
have
God.
blatantly just held it up for a picture to try and swindle us out of £250. Would you like
Wow.
to see our best group?
Yeah,
11 different groups, 55
Okay.
people, t-shirts sent out all over the country.
millions
Okay.
of people are going to see this and they're going to think, wow, I want to watch Otwee. Wow.
Yeah, they stood there for the whole game, just behind each other.
Did they realise it's not a crossword?
Did they know what it was called? They knew what the name was.
Oh my god.
Fucking Yorkshire. And finally, Mikey, this is Lewis.
All right.
Lewis received a lifetime ban from Craven Cottage
Huh?
for flash marketing.
Flash mark, was he naked?
Him and his dad
Oh
have
my.
been banned from the stadium.
That's awful.
For him. Okay,
Now, with our efforts to infiltrate the Premier League unsuccessful, we decided to look elsewhere.
all right. My friends, change of plan. Mr. Lamb, have you heard of a TV show called The Last Leg?
I have not.
I hadn't
I haven't
either.
heard of any
However,
of this.
It's a
But that's
live
good,
TV
'cause
show.
I
They
look at-
film
I
it
look
in
at the-
London, Friday 10 p.m.
That's a good thing,
every-
right? Because I'm part of the YouTube audience, and if I haven't seen it, he wants people out of YouTube to watch it and get more traction. Because we're gonna watch it anyways.
Every week, and they average 800,000 live viewers an
Okay.
episode. Which is
800,000.
pretty good. That's quite a few
For
eyeballs.
TV.
If we wanted 800,000 people
Don't.
to see one of our advertisements,
No, but
you know
again-
what we could do?
Make a react video.
We could make a reaction.
The React video,
Anyway,
people are gonna watch it anyways.
The Last Leg, what's special about it is they sit the audience behind the presenters. So they're pretty much always in shot. Get the t-shirts.
All right, my friends, so we
Good
headed
idea.
to the filming of this show, but immediately we made a fatal error. After queuing for 2 hours in the February cold, we realised we'd been clocked.
Don't need to kick you out, dude. I won't even go in the studio just in case you do, son.
So we got into the studio and we're
Okay.
queuing to get into our seats. And at the front of this queue, there's a woman. Now this woman, she's directing people to whatever seat they want to sit in. She's asking
Yes.
everybody, she's saying, would you like to be on TV? Some of
Okay.
these pussies, they were like, oh no, oh, I'll just sit in the crowd. Not us though, we were ready. We were like,
Thanks
get
for
us
the
on
follow,
that set.
Jake
Well,
Richards,
when it came to our
69,
time,
69,
she looks us up
69.
and down,
Hello,
and
I
she
see
goes,
you.
You're sitting
How you
there,"
doing?
and points to 3 seats.
How you doing, man? Play what? What's up?
Seats with reserved signs on them sat directly behind the cameras. Disaster. After 2 failed
what
attempts,
would you mean
things
good?
were
Play-
looking bleak. But don't worry, because at this time of year, we had something up our sleeve.
Welcome to Deadline Day. Deadline
I
Day.
don't get it.
Day, deadline day, deadline day.
Well, what's up?
Next hour or so, business still not completed here.
Okay, so many moons ago, some of you might remember there was a man called Peter.
What's up?
Now, Peter played for a team called West Brom. And one day, Peter decided he didn't want to play for West Brom anymore. Peter wanted to go and sign
What?
for QPR.
I'm
so what
conf-
Peter
I'm
did,
literally
without the
confused.
2 clubs agreeing a deal, Peter
Hello,
took it upon
play
himself to
good.
drive
It's
all
a
the way
song.
down to West
Good's
London
a song.
and showed up at the QPR training ground completely unannounced in the hopes they'd let him in. Now, that's our plan today. So we've hired out a Mercedes Viano, a car that all clubs use to ferry their new signings in from the airport with. And what we're going to do is we're going to drive up to the reporters, wait for them to point their cameras at us, and strike.
This WillNE idea is a good one.
In talks.
Oh, he's right outside.
Look, there's people behind him.
Fernandes wants to join Chelsea. He has made that clear.
Oh, in that way?
We're not that far from Chelsea, are we?
No.
Give me a stand.
What good's a song?
Now, there was no road outside Chelsea, so we took the signs on foot and pretended to be Blues.
Chelsea, Chelsea, Chelsea.
The plan was we'd put cameraman Yai in here on
Well,
watch
after
and
this
follow
video.
his lead whenever he sees them go live.
At Chelsea, one of the clubs is set to
Oh, go now.
Sure of the payment. Essentially, Chelsea can pay that massive fee up front.
Now, my friends, we had no idea if we'd been successful or not, so we headed up to Nottingham, the only club in the entire country at that point, with a reporter standing outside on the street.
Keylor Navas, the PSG goalkeeper, that deal is still not over the line. We're waiting for him to travel past here at any point.
Okay, my friends, so the plan is the reporter is stood outside of the training ground. We have a lovely fancy car that looks almost like there could be a player in the back. So what we want to do is we want to drive up to the training ground right next to the reporter, and I want you guys to kind of chase with your phones out, shouting, Navas! Navas! The reporter then pans the camera to the door.
You want to go
hoping
sleep?
for
Go
an
sleep
interview
then,
with
man.
Keylor Navas. We
Relax.
open the door, and bang! Right? Foolproof. There's no way this could go wrong.
Andy Brassell's going to talk about that in just a moment. Let's go live to Rob Dorset. I don't know when...
Go.
This, my friends, we were running out of time. It was late in the day, and not many deals were getting done. However, we had one slither of hope.
Let's bring you some breaking news. It's an update on Manchester United target Marcel
Because the fans coming in
He's landed in Manchester,
can't even get
and we
a good
understand
interview
he
with
is
him.
in a convoy of cars on his way to the training ground here at Carrington.
He was talking like 10 seconds before. He's checking his phone, he can't be lying.
He's missed it.
Bits that he's on his way
missed
to
it.
finalise that deal.
He's definitely getting ready for something.
That's him. That's Abbotsford.
He's missed it. No.
I think he might be packing up his tripod.
Yeah, they're finished, aren't they?
All right, my friends, this
don't
is
know
the
what that
first time
means.
we've
English,
seen
bro.
yesterday's footage. Mr. Lamb, are you ready for the moment of truth?
I am so ready. My loins are shaking.
We started the day at Chelsea. This is us. If you look,
That's fantastic.
well, I mean, it appears that you just ran away. He went, go over there. You went, yeah.
It's because I knew you had it.
Zero.
I
right
was
on
a
you.
distraction.
Oh, let me just leave.
Distractions are as important as the main task.
Okay,
You think
a
the
little
Trojan
bit, but
horse wasn't as important as
Will,
the
the
people
Will
inside
did a
of
good
it?
job here.
Anyway,
I'm the horse, my friend. That's fantastic. That's great.
Not
You're in the
really,
video.
though, is it?
Yeah, you're there. If you get out your binoculars, you can. Yeah, twatty.
We got 33 tweets because of our little stunt there. The
33.
majority of those said get a bigger banner. Fear not, though, that's not all we did, right? We then made a 2-hour drive to Nottingham. And if you look very closely here, that's our car's headlights.
Yeah.
Disaster,
Yeah,
really.
missed
It's
it.
not gone well.
We were seconds out.
Seconds, yeah, seconds.
That wasn't live, that wasn't live, that wasn't live. Let's go.
So we missed it at Nottingham, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Took a while to get there. However, Nottingham wasn't the only place we went, was it, Mikey?
No,
Okay.
it wasn't.
We then went up to Manchester, and I can confirm
like this was a flop
we
as
ended
well.
up on live TV.
It's a flop.
We're coming on in 3, 2, 1, there. Not the car the cameras are pointed at, the one
Behind it.
yeah, hidden in the shadows. I'm not sure that's going to be any use. So, my friends, you might be thinking this video was a disaster. However, what we haven't told you is the other day on my Instagram story, I put out a story asking for runners. Now, if you're not familiar with what a runner is, that is a person who works when people are filming and they do odd jobs here and there and make sure everything goes smoothly. Despite 97% of you thinking I was
they're
looking for
actual
someone
runners.
to run a marathon, we managed to assemble 17 different teams across the country, armed with banners, armed with t-shirts, all in order to terrorise deadline day reporters.
Okay, this is a better idea.
What's that? Have you ever heard of WillNE?
Who?
And have you ever heard of Twatty?
Now, the majority of those were rumbled by the fact, and we probably should have seen this coming, Sky Sports are cowards, and they mainly now film behind closed doors. However, we still had Nottingham and Chelsea. So, right, Mr. Lamb, this is Alex and Tate. Would you like to see Alex and Tate's Nottingham Forest efforts?
I would.
So here we are. This is him earlier in the day.
Yeah.
Now, if you just...
Here they come.
Just look behind them there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Fucking half-wits. Why have you run?
Why?
Oh,
You
yeah,
could've
we're
just
gonna have
relaxed.
really
You're not-
legible.
you're
Good
not
job
doing
you've held it
something
up nice and
bad.
clearly.
Well, you did ask for runners.
Yeah, good.
Oh.
However, my friends, after the 7th failure of this video, still
that might be
fear
more
not.
than 7.
We had one more group, Jack. We had Javier. We had Antonio and Kelvin. Let's see what they produced.
Okay.
Do that. The main issue is the clubs can't agree.
Oh, here he comes.
It's a bit far
Look at
away.
the confidence of this man. He's not standing in the back like us, is he? He's right there.
They saw him. They put a picture over the top of it, but fear not, because we attacked the audio airwaves as well.
And why this has taken so long. And so suddenly things have got very musical, and suddenly things have got just very deadline. I'm scared to look around and see what this is. We don't know what it is, but that's.
You're not allowed to turn around. What if it's some guy with a knife?
We'll take that. The first episode of our show is out right now on our brand
Go
new
watch
channel,
it, guys.
This week on the internet. Make sure to check it out. Goodbye.
I'll be there, Will. Episode 2's a couple episodes are probably out by now when this goes on YouTube. So go watch them, guys.
Welcome to.
Go watch them. It's a 6. It was a 6 series and it will be a 6 series to this day. So yeah, go watch This Week on the Internet by WillNE. I'm really happy it's back. It's sick. Yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. Take care and peace.